The terms cis and trans originally have meaning in science, in organic chemistry. As a manufacturing engineer, I am actually familiar with the terms cis and trans as organic chemistry terms, but I really don't know how it is these terms got to have anything to do with lifestyle or gender preference. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to talk about how it is they went from having something to do with organic chemistry and went into lifestyle choices and gender preferences. Okay? Most people hear these words today in discussions about gender identity and modern culture, but these terms actually have roots in science, specifically in organic chemistry. The purpose of this presentation is not political. The purpose is educational. I want to explain where these terms came from, what they originally meant, and why they were adapted into modern language. Understanding the origin of words often helps us communicate more clearly and think more analytically. So, the core concept: the terms cis and trans describe relative position. The word cis means on the same side. The word trans means across or on the opposite side. These terms come from Latin and were adopted into organic chemistry because they provide a precise way to describe relationships between parts of a molecule. The important thing to understand is that these terms are relational. They do not describe whether something is good or bad. They simply describe whether something aligns with a reference point or differs from it. The mechanism in chemistry. In organic chemistry, these terms are used in something called geometric isomerism. This happens when molecules cannot freely rotate because of the structure of certain bonds. As a result, the same molecule can exist in different fixed arrangements. For example, in butane, two chemical groups may be located on the same side of a double bond. That arrangement is called cis. If those same groups are located on opposite sides, the arrangement is called trans. Even though the molecules contain the same atoms, their physical arrangement changes how they behave. This is important because it demonstrates a larger principle. Small structure differences can create very different outcomes. A real-world example in adaptation. One real-world example involves fats and oils. Cis fats tend to have bent molecular structures, which keeps them more liquid. Trans fats tend to have straight structures, which allows them to pack together more tightly and become more solid. Over time, the terms cis and trans were adopted from chemistry into modern language because they already described alignment and non-alignment clearly and neutrally. In modern language, cisgender generally refers to someone whose gender identity aligns with their biological sex assigned at birth. Transgender refers to someone whose gender identity differs from that assignment. So the underlying concept remains the same: alignment versus non-alignment relative to a reference point. The key insight here in closing, the larger lesson here is that scientific language often moves into society when it provides a simple and precise way to describe relationships. We see this happen with many scientific terms over time. What matters most is understanding definitions clearly before forming conclusions or debating ideas. Clear definitions improve communication. Clear communication improves understanding. And understanding where words come from often helps reduce confusion and emotional misunderstanding. So that's basically the whole science behind the cis and trans thing. I'm not trying to be judgmental or emotional on it. I was just there are a lot of people out there who hear the term cis and trans, and they're wondering, well, wait a minute, why is that an insult? You know, it's like you'll have these hippies protesting someplace. They're wearing their little tie-dye shirts and everything, and they're saying, oh, well, you know, that's to be I'm sorry, that's to be expected from a cis male. And they're saying cis male like it's some kind of insult or something. Well, it's not. It's not an insult. It just means that you identify with the gender that you were assigned at birth. And if somebody wants to not identify with the gender they were assigned at birth, that's entirely their choice. It's their lifestyle. This is America. You can live however you want. I mean, it's one of our founding principles: life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. If pursuing your life as a female, or if you were assigned female at birth and you want to be acting like a boy, fine. Do whatever you want. This is, like I said, it's America: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. So yeah, I hope this clarifies things for people who are confused about the cis and trans thing. They are terms that were used or Latin terms that were used for organic chemistry to describe the arrangement of a molecule, and they came to now describe a person's gender preference and lifestyle. So, thank you very much for listening. God bless and take care.